Welcome, everybody, to the Draft Brian Film Room. On this episode, I'm going to take a look at Nebraska starting quarterback Heinrich Haarberg. Now, a few weeks ago, I did make a video on Jeff Sims titled, Jeff Sims is not as bad as you think he is. Kind of highlighting, I think, some of the slander that was going against Sims. And I had a couple people reach out and said, hey, what about Haarberg? You know, he started the last 3 games. And so that's what I want to do today is I went through and I looked and I watched Heinrich Haarberg's every snap of his 3 starts. Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech, and then most recently Michigan. And kind of break down the film, break down what we're seeing. Because, yes, Nebraska's won 2 out of those 3 games. But I wanted to take a deep dive into that film to really kind of break down how good Haarberg is playing, has been playing, so on and so forth. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the tape. Now, the first thing I want to take a look at is Haarberg's ability to run. I think that's his strength. We've seen him have that success. And I think he's at his best running this quarterback draw, quarterback powers, where he's able to just get upfield quick, find an open lane, and get extra yards. We see that here against Northern Illinois a couple times. Just that draw. Sometimes he's got a guy leading, and he's able to just get north and south and get his momentum going. That's where I think he's at his best, getting up and down the field. We've also seen him have success in zone read. Here is a touchdown against Northern Illinois. Once again, got the defense moving. Just take it off. He's got some speed. He's got good speed. He's kind of got to build it up a little bit, but it's just that ability to get north and south, and then he can build up that speed in these long runs. We also saw Nebraska bust out the option, and I think they looked at, we need to get him running and moving. Let's bust out. We're at Nebraska. Let's bust out the option. So here against Louisiana Tech, he's able to make a move. This is like my favorite run of his. You know, he made a defender miss and then ran right up the middle for a touchdown. We see another example of that here. For whatever reason, no one wants to tackle. They always go after the running back. But once again, it just shows his speed to be able to find that lane and get going. So I think it's safe to say that everyone feels that Haarberg is a good runner, but let's take a look at him as a passer. One of the things that I've really liked that this staff has done, Marcus Satterfield, Matt Rule, is they've looked to feature a lot of the short game. And that's where Haarberg has had his most success, is getting the ball out quick on short routes to help kind of keep him ahead, move the ball. And he's done very well to be accurate in this short area. I think that's where he has his most success, getting the ball out quick to running backs here, tight end, and just making these quick and easy throws, building the confidence, keeping the chains moving, and that's where he's at his best. Okay, this short to intermediate area, he's able to move the ball, make these quick plays, and like I said, just keep the ball moving. And a lot of times it's just get the ball to Kemp and he makes the guys miss. Get the ball to Fedoni, move the chains, so on and so forth. Another area that Haarberg has really thrived is throwing into windows, in breaking routes to the middle of the field. Here we see against Northern Illinois off of play action, he's going to hit Marcus Washington, throwing the ball to that open area over the middle. Here against Louisiana Tech on a deep slant post to Billy Kemp. Another kind of slant right here. He's throwing these balls when they're coming into tight areas on these. And here's another one to Washington against Michigan. He does a really good job of getting that ball and knowing where this throwing window is going to be, having that timing, and being able to make that play. And there are some concerns I have him as a thrower, but between his short accuracy and getting the ball out quick to his receivers, and then being able to throw down the field a little bit more into these window throws, these timing throws in between defenders, This is where Heinrich Haarberg is at his best. And this is where he has most of his success, kind of dialed up, schemed routes down the field to get his receivers open. All right, and the last thing that I want to talk about to highlight Haarberg is his ability to make second reaction plays. We all know that the Nebraska's offensive line is, the strength isn't pass blocking. And to be a good quarterback, whether it's college football, the NFL, you have to be able to make second reaction plays. And we saw this throughout Haarberg's time, the ability to maneuver outside the pocket, look downfield, and be able to make throws. And just keep the play alive. I mean, this play right here, I thought he was just going to burn the ball, and he's able to hit Fedoni down the sideline. And it's just this ability to make a defender miss, use that athleticism, and then still be able to keep your eyes down the field and find that receiver. And that's been one thing that when I've seen Haarberg this year so far, I've been very impressed with that ability to make these second reaction throws. Now, probably my biggest concern about Haarberg is kind of his ball placement. Now, it's funny because earlier I just talked about, hey, he's done really good in a short intermediate. I highlighted his ability to throw to open windows. But the more you look and the closer you look at his throws, he's gotten away with having some bad ball placement. Here against Northern Illinois, this is a deep ball to Tommy Hill. His deep accuracy when we want to take shots down the field is not quite there. He missed Tommy Hill when he had a couple steps on him there. That you've seen Nebraska kind of go away. They don't take too many deep shots. You would think a guy with his arm strength, why haven't we taken more shots with Tommy Hill? What about Malachi Coleman, some deep shots, whatever it may be. And a lot of it's his accuracy. But then we also see it in the short throws too. Balls tend to be off. Here a ball to Marcus Washington. Ball was behind. Luckily he held onto it. Could have easily been broken up. Here against Louisiana Tech. This is a touchdown to Fedoni, but look how high Fedoni had to get up to make this catch. That was a great play by Fedoni to be able to make this catch, and he ended up scoring a touchdown. But that was a hard catch to make, leaping up like that. Another ball right here. Fedoni had to reach up and high point that ball to make the catch. And I'm being nitpicky here. Some of these completions, like this is a nice throw to Jalen Lloyd at the end of the game. But this ball, if you look, it's behind him. It's forcing him to have to turn back, and he ends up taking a pretty good hit here that maybe wasn't necessary. And so I am being nitpicky. I get it. This is only his, first, second, and third career starts. But if we're trying to debate and trying to see, is Heinrich Haarberg the starter going forward? Is he someone that they're going to build around long term? We can't ignore things like this. He has to clean that up. He has to get a little bit better to throw with more consistency, whether it's, making it so his receivers don't have to make spectacular catches, or even these plays like this Lloyd one and even that Washington one where they're not getting blown up because where the ball was placed. All right, the last thing that I want to take a look at here is Heinrich Haarberg's throwing motion. And early on in the season, we saw it, and it was kind of for the good. Here against Northern Illinois, first touchdown, little sidearm throw. They get the ball around the defender, get it to Kemp for the touchdown. Later on in the game, another quick little sidearm throw to Bullock for a long gain. We've seen him do that to get the ball out quick to receivers. But then it bore its ugly head against Michigan. Second play of the offense, ball's tipped up, and when you take a look at that, he's throwing the ball almost from his shoulder. There was, 2-3 tip balls against Michigan. There was another tip ball against, I think, Louisiana Tech. And it started to become an issue. And so what I wanted to do is I wondered, has he always thrown that way? And so I went back and I found some high school tape online, And we see Haarberg didn't always throw like that. We see in this play right here, he's throwing a normal motion. He's getting that ball up over his shoulder to make some good throws. And so that wasn't always the problem. You see him, if you go back and you watch that, and I don't have it on this clip or on this tape, but if you go back and you watch that Michigan interception, he's almost throwing from his shoulder. It's not a true sidearm, but on some of these shorter throws, that ball's coming out about shoulder pad length, and that makes it easier for these defenders to get their hands up. I mean, he's 6'5". He should be able to throw the ball over the offensive line. And we didn't see that, on these clips that I'm showing you, that ball's not as low as it is now. And I honestly think Scott Frost and his staff is to blame. I mean, that was one of the big things when Frost was hired. They wanted to get the ball out quick, and they didn't care about arm slots, and it was just get the ball out fast to the receivers. And I think that has caused Haarberg to kind of develop some bad tendencies, and hopefully we don't see more of those tip balls at the line of scrimmage that result in interceptions. Now, all in all, I feel like Heinrich Haarberg has done a good job in what he's been asked to do, coming in to replace the injured Jeff Sims. I mean, Haarberg was kind of left for naught, gets recruited by Frost last year with Whipple as the offensive coordinator. He was, when Casey Thompson got hurt, Haarberg wasn't even a consideration. I mean, it was Logan Smothers, it was Chubba Purdy. I mean, I think Whipple and Mickey Joseph got asked about Haarberg potentially getting out there, and they kind of laughed at it. And then we heard good things about Rule, and now he's inserted in, and he's got his flaws. Like I said earlier, this is his first, second, and third game started of his career. You're going to have some growing pains. He's an athlete. He's still developing. And I think they've done well to kind of manage and build him and get some confidence and do what he can do well. Getting the option, getting him running is there, getting the ball out quick. I just want to see him continue to improve his accuracy, his ball placement, especially some deep balls. I think that's what's really hurting this defense is we're a good run team, but we don't have that ability to stretch the field vertically and take some shots. I mean, a lot of our play actions are posts, which he's hitting, don't get me wrong, but it'd be lovely to see play action and having either Tommy Hill or Malachi Coleman, Jalen Lloyd, somebody with some speed flying down the field and then be able to run underneath the ball for like a 60-yard touchdown run catch. That'd be great. But like I said, I think he's done a good enough job. He's helped Nebraska win 2 games. I think if they continue to roll with him as the starter, he's gonna give them chances to win against a lot of those Big Ten West teams. The Purdue's, the Illinois, the Northwesterns, Iowa. I think he gives Nebraska a chance to win. Can he put Nebraska on the offense on his shoulders and carry them to win? I haven't seen that yet, but it'll be anxious to kind of see him moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed this. The best way to get these is to subscribe, so hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for the notifications as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time.